Well, good day, viewers. How you going? I think looking at the situation of Australia now, with the Lebanese background and Aboriginal background, and just normal Australian background, European people coming into Australia, my ancestors. It's the politicians, viewers. It's the politicians. The politicians are letting us down. They brought in the hate speech and the gun laws to try and soften the Islamic driven terrorism attack and that part of the jihad. And I've done talks on jihad and how if you take one element of it away, like the spiritual, social, moral and military, which is the violent side, if you take any one of those pillars away, it always ends up in the violent part of it. So we've got people, one man got put away for 12 months for hate speech. That's fine. And now we've got the government flying in terrorists, people that have cohorted with terrorists. I mean, if I was driving this car from a bank robbery, just scenario, I'm driving away from a bank robbery, I've got people in the back of the car that have robbed the bank. I didn't rob the bank, but I'm still an accessory to the fact, right? I'm still a part of the bank robbery, which means I will be imprisoned if I get caught. Why is this corrupt government, and it's the only way you can say it, it's completely and utterly corrupt, going to bring back people that have contributed to terrorism at its highest level, supported intimately and in other ways as full-on supporters, as the Bible described Eve was going to be to Adam, a helper, being complete and utter sold out helpers, left this country to go deliberately and consciously do it, right? They brought it on themselves to do it. They wanted to do it. They'll come back. The government's assisting them in coming back. Don't listen to the lies. They're helping them all the way. Under the fact that they're Australian citizens, apparently. So they'll come back. They'll get government support. They'll get probably housing. They'll get security and all the rest of it. They're going to get the lot. They'll get the lot. Stuff that you'd have to work for a lifetime to get. These people that have supported terrorism at a biblical level, right? At a biblical level. They won't be locked up. They won't be treated as criminals. They'll be given the full government support, taxpayers' money, built from taxpayers' money, for their contribution to terrorism in the Middle East. Now, if you can make sense of that, right, if you think that's fair, if you think that's just, if you think that's going to help Australia, right, then it might be a good idea possibly for us to get on a plane and go over and support terrorists and say, right, this is as far as I'm going to go with it. It's a little bit out of hand, or I've seen too many people get killed. I've seen kids with suicide bombs blowing themselves up. I've seen the women just as involved as the men. I better go back to Australia. I better get out of here. It's all too real. It's gone on too long. If I go back, I'm going to get all the lurks and perks. Now, if those people knew when they come back they were going to be put in jail, they wouldn't come back, would they? So this is very well thought out. This is severely and strategically thought out. If you're in a Syrian camp, which would be pretty hard going, another reason why you'd want to come back is if you do go to jail, you're going to be looked after 100-fold better. 3 meals. I've been in the prisons as a Christian minister, 15 years of it. 3 meals a day, sport, exercise, you name it, education, the lot. Why would you stay in Syria? Now remember, these people have, at a biblical level, Eve was made for Adam to be a helper. They went and helped the terrorist organization operate and made every effort for their help to enable the terrorist organization to succeed. And now they think they've got the right to come back and live a free life supported on taxpayers' money. If you can work that one out and you don't think this government's destroying our country, then you're just ignorant. You're willfully blind like the government. There's nothing that I'm going to be able to do about it. Probably the majority. We just sort of sit and watch all this corruption and madness, insanity. Some people describe it as murderous empathy. They're bringing the murder down on us. They're bringing them in, the murderers, through their apparent empathy. But I don't think it's empathy. I think it's insanity. The people that are running this country are from inside the asylum, the swamp. And, you know, football, meat pies, kangaroos, and, well, Holden cars are gone, thanks to the governments. None of it hopefully will affect me, but I've seen the ferocity and the savagery, and it won't stop. The culturalization that's been instilled into these children will enable them to flourish in this country to be the next generation of terrorists. And that's all there is to it. I mean, you don't have to be a theologian, or like I am, or a scientist or some kind of academic. If you put a dog in with the wolves and the wolves help the dog to become a wolf, then you're dealing with the nature of a wolf, not the nature of a domestic dog. That's why there's zoos. Zoos are basically prisons for animals that are dangerous, or for animals that are going to be caged to be on exhibition. That's probably the best thing that could happen for Australia as an example. I mean, why aren't these people made an example and put in prison? It'll be the opposite. It's mind-bending, it's unhealthy for the civilian Australian mindset to watch this, but this government is going to assist and house and give taxpayers money for these people to live and be supported after serving as criminals on a biblical level, walking away from this country, defying our culture and the way we live, to support wholeheartedly, without any reservation, at any cost, terrorism. And the government's going to support these people for the rest of their lives. They probably won't even be in prison. The inmates are running the asylum, and it's not healthy for the normal Australian person to be watching the people that are running the country do this to us. I'm out.